Welcome back to Zodiac Talks Tarot, where astrology stops being entertainment and becomes a compass for the soul. I'm your longtime researcher, a wanderer through human nature and cosmic architecture, a student of the psyche, and a quiet believer that wisdom should never be dull. I've spent years decoding how the stars mirror our choices, how psychology hides in our horoscopes, and how, if we listen closely, the universe occasionally tells a joke just to see if we were paying attention. If you've found this message, my dear Sagittarius, it isn't luck or coincidence. The universe doesn't play dice. It delivers invitations dressed as timing, and you just happened to RSVP by showing up here. This week, from October 6th to the 12th, the heavens hum with opportunity. There's a rhythm in the air that only a few will recognize. Some will walk by it, too busy scrolling through life. But you, Sagittarius, you were born with antennae for divine frequencies. You hear music in silence, sense movement in stillness, and you've never been afraid to wander where maps grow vague. Right now, the cosmos is practically flashing your name in neon, and the question is not whether luck exists, it's whether you're ready to meet it halfway. Before we talk about money, let's talk about movement. For Sagittarius, wealth has never started in the wallet. It begins in the spirit, in that inner restlessness that refuses to sit quietly in mediocrity. You are ruled by Jupiter, the philosopher king of planets, the one that expands everything it touches, wisdom, opportunity, even your snack cravings at midnight. Jupiter's blessings are generous but never random. He always asks, have you grown enough to hold what you've been asking for? This week, the stars suggest your answer is yes. The restless pulse you've been feeling isn't anxiety, it's evolution. Your soul is stretching its wings again, rehearsing for flight. And that, my dear fire sign, is where the magic begins. A portal is opening above you, not a sci-fi wormhole, but a subtle energetic doorway that leads from stagnation to expansion. It doesn't require you to chase anything. It requires you to align. The chosen ones, those who stay awake when the world numbs itself, know that real timing isn't about waiting. It's about attunement. You don't sit around for a miracle, you become so ready that the miracle has no choice but to arrive. So take a breath, Sagittarius. This week is your Year of Triumph 2025 dress rehearsal, a chance to experience what it feels like when destiny stops being a theory and becomes a living current beneath your feet. Every choice you make echoes louder than usual. Every small step ripples wider. The secret? Say yes to movement, even imperfect movement. On Monday, October 6th, the universe lights a match called momentum. The Chariot takes the stage, that roaring symbol of direction, drive, and unapologetic ownership of your path. This card doesn't care how fast you move, it only cares that you're steering. It's the cosmic reminder that no one else gets to hold your wheel. Some of you have been sitting in the passenger seat of your own story, letting circumstances drive while you quietly critique the route. Well, it's time to grab the keys. The universe has had enough of your maybe laters. This is ignition day. Send that email you've been drafting in your head for weeks. Launch that project that keeps showing up in your dreams. Book the ticket, make the call, take the first unpolished step toward whatever glows in your gut. You don't have to wait for the perfect plan. Perfection is a moving target, and Sagittarius, you were never built for stillness anyway. The stars would rather see you make a glorious mess of passion than a tidy grave of hesitation. If fear tries to whisper in your ear, smile at it. Tell it you've upgraded your navigation system and you no longer take advice from ghosts of your old self. This is the week the universe stops testing your patience and starts testing your readiness. The air crackles with possibility, and Jupiter is standing in your corner like a cosmic coach, saying, finally, they're moving. By the time this week ends, you'll realize something powerful: luck doesn't chase you, it meets you at the speed of your belief. You're not waiting for abundance, abundance is waiting for you to act like you deserve it. And that, Sagittarius, is where your story begins again, not with hesitation, but with motion. Because when a fire sign moves, the world adjusts its temperature. Sagittarius, your magic has never belonged to the careful planners or the spreadsheet lovers of the world. You were born under a sky that values motion over method, adventure over caution. Your brilliance is not in waiting for the perfect moment, it's in leaping before doubt can form a complete sentence. You act first, think later, and somehow life rearranges itself to catch you midair. When fear starts whispering its usual nonsense, what if it doesn't work, what if you fail, just smile and remind it that courage was never about being fearless. Courage is about gripping the wheel with shaking hands and saying, "Fine, I'll drive anyway." Tuesday, the 7th of October, the wheel of fortune spins, and this time it's pointing straight at you. Fate steps onto the stage, grabs the microphone, and starts improvising. Something unexpected stirs in the air, a text from someone you didn't expect, a chance encounter, or a small, uncanny coincidence that feels like a private joke between you and the universe. Don't overanalyze it. Sagittarians can think deeply, but this is not your week for dissecting signs like a scientist at a microscope. This week is about instinct, about chasing what feels alive, what tingles behind your ribs when you say yes too fast. You might meet someone whose energy feels like static electricity, the kind of person who jolts you awake. Or maybe an opportunity will land in your lap that seems too good to be real. Don't dismiss it because it feels easy or unexpected. Sometimes Jupiter, your cosmic patron of expansion, hides blessings inside strange packaging. A delayed flight leads to a life-changing conversation. A lost file opens space for a better idea. The wheel always turns, but only the awake can feel its motion. And then comes Wednesday, the 8th, when the Knight of Wands gallops through your chart, and this, my fiery friend, is basically your reflection in tarot form. Bold, restless, charismatic, a little allergic to waiting rooms and bureaucracy. This is your day of movement, the day to do what Sagittarius does best: create motion where there was once stagnation. The universe loves momentum. It rewards those who say, "I'll figure it out on the way." When your heart says go, logic can stand in line and wait for its turn. Build that project, write that story, take that risk. If something excites you, chase it like it owes you rent. If something drains you, let it go with gratitude and no dramatic goodbye. There's a line from Buddhist teachings that fits you perfectly: the arrow that misses the target still flies. Translation: stop fearing imperfection. Not every leap has to land where you expect. Sometimes the mere act of leaping shifts your trajectory towards something you couldn't plan if you tried. The effort itself is sacred. Movement is meditation for a sign that learns through motion. Then, as Thursday the 9th arrives, the fire settles into embers. The 10 of Pentacles takes the stage, grounding your wild energy. This is not merely a card of wealth, it's a reminder of legacy. Real abundance isn't measured in bank accounts, it's measured in what outlives you. The stories you pass on, the wisdom you share, the laughter that echoes in your family long after you've moved on to your next adventure. Sagittarius, your independence is admirable, but even the great wanderer needs roots. This is the day to remember connection, the invisible web that holds you even when you think you're free-floating through life. Reach out to your family, your mentors, or the older souls who've already walked this road. There's gold in their words, quiet guidance in their memories. You might receive help from unexpected corners: a phone call offering advice, a friend recommending you for something, or simply a reminder that you are not alone in this journey. Even as you chase the horizon, unseen hands are adjusting your compass. The universe doesn't let its travelers drift without direction for long. And then, Friday the 10th, the fire dims just enough for reflection. Your ruling card, Temperance, makes its entrance a soft but powerful reminder that balance is not the enemy of motion, it's the structure that keeps motion meaningful. This is your spiritual intermission, a breath between two adventures. After the excitement of the week, you'll feel the need to slow down, to find rhythm instead of rush. Light a candle if you can, take a long walk, play music that doesn't demand your attention but feeds your peace. The energy asks not for inactivity but for harmony, for the fusion of what you've learned with who you're becoming. Temperance carries a quiet wisdom that feels almost Buddhist at its core. Abundance is not what you gather, it's what you integrate. You've collected lessons, insights, even a few bruises lately. Let them blend into something steady. This is where your true wealth lies, in your ability to turn chaos into understanding, movement into mastery. When you let the lessons sink beneath the surface, when your actions finally catch up with your awareness, that's when real transformation begins. So, Sagittarius, this stretch of days isn't about chasing luck, it's about embodying it. Your fire doesn't need direction, it needs devotion. The universe isn't waiting for you to become fearless or perfect. It's waiting for you to say yes with conviction, to step forward even while laughing at your own uncertainty. Because when you move, life moves. When you trust, doors open. And when you remember that even the arrow that misses still flies, you stop fearing the fall and start enjoying the flight. Saturday, October 11th arrives carrying the card of the Fool, and with it comes a cosmic yes so clear that even the most skeptical Sagittarius will feel it echo in their bones. You, of all signs, know that life only gets interesting when you stop waiting for perfect conditions and start trusting your wings. The Fool is not a card of recklessness, despite what some readers might say. It's not about running barefoot into chaos, it's about stepping into faith so complete that fear has no room to negotiate. There's a clean, electric quality in the air this weekend, a sense that the universe has been quietly rearranging the scenery, waiting for you to make your entrance. Something is waiting beyond the risk you've been too reasonable to take. The question is no longer whether you're ready, it's whether you'll say yes. Book the ticket. Launch the idea. Make the call. Say yes to the version of yourself that doesn't need validation anymore. The Fool never worries about falling because he understands what most people forget: the universe always provides a landing. You are protected. You are guided. You are free. And then comes Sunday, October 12th, wearing the sun like a crown. If the Fool is the leap, the sun is the landing, a radiant confirmation that you were right to trust your momentum. This is illumination in its purest form, the warmth of clarity after a long stretch of confusion, the burst of joy that comes when you realize you are not behind schedule, not lost, not late, but exactly where you're meant to be. The sun doesn't just light your path, it reminds you that the light was always within you. It's the moment all the puzzle pieces click, the realization that everything you thought was chaos was, in fact, choreography. Let that sink in, Sagittarius. Your timeline was never delayed, it was divine. You bloom not by rushing but by meeting the right conditions, the perfect mixture of courage and timing. This week gives you both. Now, let's step beneath the glittering surface of these cards and talk about the psychology of what's really happening. Astrology isn't about external magic, it's about internal movement. The deeper current flowing beneath your week is not about learning how to make money, but about remembering how to become magnetic to it. Prosperity, in every form, is not something you chase, it's something you attract when your energy stops contradicting your desire. The cosmos doesn't respond to desperation, it responds to alignment. Money follows motion. Opportunities follow clarity. And clarity follows truth. When you stop running after things that don't belong to you, what is yours can finally catch up. Sagittarius energy has always been about expansion, but expansion without trust is just wandering. True growth requires the same faith a bird has when it leaps from the branch, trusting the air will hold it. And right now, that air is thick with promise. Jupiter, your cosmic ruler, is dancing in a rare golden trine with Venus, the planet of love and beauty. It's as though heaven itself has decided to make things a little easier, whispering, just show up, and we'll handle the rest. So show up. Show up to your own dream, your art, your ambition, your truth. Show up even if your voice shakes, even if you don't have the plan yet. You don't have to push the river this week, you just have to stop swimming against it. The current knows where you're going, even when you don't. And here's the spiritual punchline: as the year of triumph 2025 unfolds, this week feels like rehearsal dinner for your destiny. The script is already written in light, you just have to deliver your lines. Luck, as you're discovering, isn't random. It's the natural side effect of faith practiced daily, humor kept alive, and alignment maintained even when you're exhausted. You are one of the chosen ones, not because you're flawless, but because you've mastered the sacred art of resilience. You fall, you learn, you rise, and somehow, every fall adds more character to your rise. Now, before you run off to conquer the next horizon, let's talk about ritual, because Sagittarius doesn't just think their way into magic, they live it through action. A ritual isn't superstition, it's a structure for energy, a way to give intention a body. On the night of the 9th or 10th, when the moon glows softly in your sign, carve out 10 quiet minutes just for yourself. Turn off the noise, light a candle burnt orange if you need courage, gold if you're calling in abundance. Hold a coin in your palm, or something symbolically valuable, a family ring, a key, a small token that already carries meaning. Write down 3 words that define what you want to attract this week: freedom, prosperity, recognition, whatever makes your pulse quicken. Now say it aloud, slowly, like a vow: I open the wealth portal now. I walk with Jupiter's light. Don't rush the words, feel them vibrate in your chest. That's not poetic drama, that's actual energy shifting. You're tuning your frequency to expansion itself. Imagine the sound of your heartbeat syncing with the pulse of the universe, both keeping time with your readiness. And then, let go. Don't force the outcome. Don't sit there checking your manifestation every 5 minutes like a cake in the oven. Trust that the vibration you just released will find its match. Faith, humor, alignment, the trinity of Sagittarius success. Faith gives you direction. Humor keeps your spirit light enough to keep moving. And alignment makes sure you're not sprinting in the wrong direction. You don't need to have everything figured out, you just need to keep showing up with an open heart and a willingness to be surprised. The fool taught you how to jump. The sun reminds you how to shine. The rest is simply remembering that the sky has always belonged to you. If you can, step outside tonight and look up. The stars you see are not happening now, they are ghosts of brilliance, ancient light from bodies that may have already burned out. Yet they still shine, bridging time, distance, and memory. That, Sagittarius, is exactly how your own potential works. You may think your moment has passed, that opportunity has already been handed to someone else, but your light is still traveling. What you once set in motion, your dreams, your work, your efforts, is still moving through the universe, and its reflection hasn't finished reaching you. You are not late to your own miracle. You are right on divine time. And because you're a Sagittarius, let's ground all that cosmic poetry with a laugh. You know that moment when you open your bank app expecting disaster, and somehow, miraculously, it's not negative? That's Jupiter. That's cosmic timing in its most mischievous form. The universe winks, taps you on the shoulder, and says, "Relax, kid, I got this." It's proof that even chaos has a sense of humor. Sometimes the stars work like that, teasing you just enough to keep your optimism alive but never enough to let you fall asleep at the wheel. This week, luck won't arrive with trumpets or fireworks, it will slip in quietly through people, ideas, and encounters that make you feel alive again. It might be a random conversation that reignites your creativity, an unexpected invitation, or a simple realization that your confidence didn't disappear, it just took a nap. When life surprises you with synchronicity, recognize it for what it is, the universe saying, "You dropped this," your faith in yourself. To hold on to that energy, you need ritual repetition, not as superstition, but as calibration. Words are frequencies, and Sagittarius, your voice carries power when it's aligned with belief. So this week, let your affirmations become your soundtrack. On Monday, say, "I move forward with trust," and success follows. On Tuesday, declare, "I am a magnet for wealth and adventure." On Wednesday, "My courage turns ideas into reality." On Thursday, "My ancestors walk beside me on this path of abundance." On Friday, remind yourself, "Peace is my power. Balance is my wealth." On Saturday, whisper, "I leap with faith and land in grace." And on Sunday, close the cycle with, "I live in sunlight, warm, abundant, and free." Write them down. Say them out loud. Whisper them in traffic or into your coffee if you must. It's not about formality, it's about vibration. Each time you speak, you're tuning your frequency a little higher, and the cosmos, like a radio, picks up that signal. The universe doesn't respond to begging, it responds to resonance. Now, let's zoom out from the daily rhythm and talk about the deeper current underneath this week's astrology. In both astrology and psychology, wealth is never just about money. It's an archetype, a living symbol of expansion, growth, and self-worth. For Sagittarius, abundance always begins in the moment you stop running from stillness. You thrive when you let silence do the talking, when you stop asking, "What should I do next?" and start asking, "Who am I becoming as I do this?" It's a paradox, really. The archer of the zodiac is always chasing the next horizon, yet true prosperity finds you only when you pause long enough to aim. In Buddhist philosophy, wealth that doesn't contribute to awakening is just another chain, golden maybe, but still a chain. So as you manifest, do it wisely. Don't just wish for money, wish for wisdom. Don't just seek wealth, seek clarity in how to use it. Let what you gain feed not only your comfort but also your consciousness. Prosperity that serves growth is freedom. Prosperity without purpose is distraction. And because you, Sagittarius, are ruled by Jupiter the cosmic comedian, let's remember that laughter is sacred currency too. The universe adores your humor, especially when things get messy. When the week spirals into chaos, smile and say, "Well, at least the plot's good." Because it always is. You have this strange talent for turning life's drama into storytelling gold. Even your worst days eventually become material for wisdom or comedy. Jupiter made sure of that. By the time Sunday night rolls around, you'll notice a shift, a subtle but undeniable sense of lightness. The static clears, the fog lifts, and suddenly you feel like yourself again. That's alignment. That's what happens when you stop chasing outcomes and start embodying the vibration of what you want. You didn't chase wealth this week, you became it. The same way stars don't try to shine, they just do. So, as this week closes, I'll remind you of what I tell every Sagittarius stepping into the year of triumph 2025. You were never meant to live in small rooms or small dreams. You are built for big skies and bigger questions. Your fire isn't local, it's global, cosmic, generational. Every time you choose curiosity over fear, humor over bitterness, expansion over contraction, the universe takes notice and widens your path. This is not the time to shrink. This is the time to step fully into your magnitude. You've been given permission by the cosmos to go further than you've ever dared, and the only requirement is that you stay authentic while you do it. Remember, The doors you walk through now are not random, they are mirrors reflecting your readiness. So when opportunity knocks this week, don't overthink. Don't peek through the peephole and ask the universe to come back later. Open the door. Step through it laughing. Trust that what's waiting on the other side is already attuned to your energy. You are ready. You've always been ready. The universe was simply waiting for you to notice. And if this message resonates, if some part of your Sagittarius soul recognizes its truth, then let's keep that energy moving. Like this video, share it with someone who needs a little light, and subscribe to Zodiac Talks Tarot, where we read the stars not as prophecies, but as invitations to live awake. Drop your affirmation in the comments. So much money is coming my way. Say it not as wishful thinking, but as a declaration of alignment. Because Sagittarius, you're not the kind of soul who waits for magic, you are the magic. Take care of your energy, trust your fire, and remember this truth as you go forward into the week: the best is not behind you. It's standing just ahead, arms open, waiting for you to finally say yes.